Welcome to this video. We'll be discussing the top beginner photography accessories for you. We're going to open up my bag and we're going to take a look at the accessories that I use on a daily basis. So the first major accessory that you need is a camera bag. Your camera bag should feature a place to hold your camera, a couple lenses, and then another spot that can safely store any accessories that you may need to bring on a shoot. The next accessory that you need to have is a tripod. This is essential for many different types of photography. A tripod is going to help keep your camera still, so this way your shots stay in focus and they're tack sharp. This is really important for shots like a long exposure. If your camera isn't still, it's going to make a blurry image and your images won't be sharp. If you are looking to add a tripod to your bag, a great place to start would be Amazon, Adorama, or your local camera store that can help kind of guide you along the way. We will also have gear recommendations in the workbook, so make sure you download it so you can check out all the gear recommendations that we'll have for you. Now, in terms of your expectations, tripods can range anywhere from $100 up to $1,000. This is an essential item to your camera bag, so make sure that you're spending good money on it, so this way you can have it for years to come. So, like I told you, tripods will extend out, so this way they will hold your camera steady. I am going to set this off to the side for now, so we can take a deeper look into what I have in my camera bag. Awesome, so like I said, let's take a look at what accessories I have in my bag. So this way you can kind of get a guess at to what you might want in your bag. So I keep most of my accessories in a little pencil case just because it's cheap and it's great at holding everything separate, so this way it's not bouncing around my bag and potentially getting damaged. For me, it's having spare chargers and spare batteries. This is really important because if you're out on a shoot and one of your batteries dies, you can always know that you have a backup charger and backup batteries, so this way you're never without a charged battery. And like I said, I always have spare batteries. I actually have 4 spare batteries in my bag to make sure that if I ever run out of one battery, I know I have 4 backups. That might be a little much for you as a beginner, but as a professional, it's something you definitely need to have. The next thing I have is my camera strap. Nothing too exciting. This is the one that came with my actual camera. I just have it off my camera because sometimes it gets in the way. So for example, if you're shooting on a tripod or if you have another kind of camera grip, you might want to take it off as well. So the next thing that I have is actually just a different kind of grip. So like I said, I don't always use my camera strap. This is a handheld one that locks into my camera, so it just kind of wraps around my hand. It's great if I'm just like quickly shooting and I need to set my camera down quickly and I don't necessarily want that camera strap to always be hanging off my camera. This is great because it wraps around my hand and it's by Peak Design. They are a great company that provide a lot of accessories for photographers that are really useful. The next thing that I have in my camera bag is a spare SD card reader. This is great for if I need to check a shot, but I just can't tell if it's good in the camera, then I can actually go right to my laptop and check it out and make sure that I got the shot that I need. So SD card readers, really helpful. The next thing that I have in my camera bag is Allen keys. This is great because a lot of tripods actually use Allen keys, and same with a lot of other accessories that come with your camera. So if you're ever out on a shoot and something comes loose, you can actually just tighten it quickly and you don't have to worry. So the last thing that I have in my accessory bag is just a microfiber cloth. This is great if you need to clean off your lens because you have dust or anything else. It's really common, so just make sure that you have one because you're bound to get dirt on your lens. The next thing that I have in my bag is camera flashes. These are great because they attach to your camera and they sync to your camera. These are great because you can light your whole scene and capture the image that you see in your head, but your camera might not be able to capture because the ISO or the light sensitivity just isn't quite there. And I actually have a second flash as a backup, and this one's a little bit bigger, so it helps kind of fill the room a little bit more if I need it. So the next thing that I have in my bag is my laptop. So if you do have a laptop, it is great to carry with you if you can, just simply because of the fact that you never know what might happen. And again, that's why I carry my SD card reader. I try to have backups of everything. So my laptop helps that if I need to research something or check something or go back to my shot list, I can always check my laptop. I do want to remind you though that you don't need any of this gear. The only thing that matters is that you have a camera in your hand. That could even be your phone camera, that could be your DSLR camera. If you have a camera and you're able to capture images, that's all that matters. You don't need all this gear. So again, because I am obsessed with backing up my footage and just making sure that I don't lose anything if I can help it, is I carry around a solid state drive. This is great because my laptop is there, but if I also back it up onto a hard drive or a solid state drive like I have here, then I know that I'll always have my footage, and even if something happens to my camera and something happens to my laptop, I know that I have it on my hard drive. So now for the exciting part. Let's get into my camera gear and what I actually use on a daily basis for my photo shoots. So the first thing is I have the Sony Alpha A7 III with the 85mm by Rokinon f1.4. I use this mostly for headshots and things like that because it has that great depth of field or like that blurry background, and it's at a perfect focal length for a full frame sensor for many things. So again, the Sony Alpha A7 III with the 85mm f1.4 Rokinon lens. The next lens I have is 17-28 f2.8 by Tamron. This lens is great for real estate photography, which is primarily what I use it for, and landscape photography, which is the primary use that I use it for. Another lens that I have in my bag is the 50mm, or the nifty 50 as a lot of people call it. It's nice for getting those great blurry backgrounds. It's not intrusive, so you're able to be close enough to your subject where you can talk to them and you can capture everything that you need to, but you still can get that depth of field and you can still be slightly far enough away that you can get the context of everything else around you. And the last lens here that I have is the 28-70. This lens is great because again, it's a nice well-rounded lens that kind of gives you that wide angle for landscape, or that 70mm or the telephoto for a lot of other things you might want to use it for. This offers a 28-70, or basically 28mm to 70mm. So it really encompasses all of those focal lengths in one lens, and it's really kind of your go-to lens for a lot of different things. Another great option that I don't have in this camera bag just because of the size of it is a 70-200mm. This is another great telephoto lens that encompasses that 70 all the way to that 200mm focal length that will really help separate your subject from the background and create that really nice, deep, blurry background effect that so many people look for. So the last thing that I have in my camera bag, which is obviously the most important because it's what actually stores all your images, is SD cards and an SD card case. I use this to store all my SD cards so they're nice and protected. It's waterproof, so this way for any reason if I drop this in the water, it's covered, and this way I have backup of SD cards. So the other thing you may notice is that I have green tape on the back here. I put these here so this way when an SD card is full I can actually tape them on there. So this way I know which ones are full and which ones are empty, so I'm never formatting the wrong ones, and again, I make sure that I always have my footage backed up. So again, I want to emphasize that you don't need all this camera gear. I've spent years buying up this equipment and slowly kind of building it up. Start with just your camera, because really that's the most important thing, and slowly build up your inventory until you're doing professional shoots where you can afford that more expensive gear and the more expensive accessories that come along with it. So that's all that we have in this video. I am finally done taking out all my gear. We'll see you in the next one.